All right, hello wine drinking people, we're back. It's Wednesday, May 12th. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, for the WineWatchTV, and we're going through the What I Drank Yesterday portion of the show, which we may have 2 or 3 videos today. We got so much material that I've drank over the last few days. And Monday in the store, we had one of the legends of Umbria, Giampiero Bay of Paolo Bay, one of the great producers in the Montefalco region, Sagrantino being the great red grape here, and Paolo Bay. Well, there's several people that I would say don't get his wines. These are not wines for the average person. These are really wines that provoke thought. Paolo Bay is a member of the group Vino Veri, and this group believes in several principles behind making wine naturally. No herbicides, no chemicals, fertilizers, no genetically modified vines. New plants for the vineyard come from old plants and the existing ones in the vineyard. Cultivation of indigenous varietals only. Disease is treated with products allowed by organic wine growing only using organic rules, and harvesting is all done by hand. And then some of the other things that get a little crazy, like non-controlled fermentation temperatures. This is one of the things that has revolutionized winemaking over the last 20 years. Being able to control the temperature of fermentation is very important, almost equally as important as when you pick the grapes in some vintages. So certain things I don't agree with our friend Giampiero, but I really appreciated his passion for the wine industry. And as I was tasting through the wines, I really got the wines. I really understood them a lot better because he was here. I had tasted through several wines from this producer in the past. One of them I thought was technically flawed, and now I understand the reason why this wine may have been slightly oxidized, and that's because of his long maceration times. He sometimes will let the juice sit in contact with the skins for up to 50 days. And then adding just a tiny amount of sulfur at the time of bottling. The legal limit in the United States is 300 parts per million. He uses 3 parts per million. So sulfur is one of those things that helps to preserve the wine. One thing that I would caution you if you're buying the wines of Paolo Bay is to buy them from a merchant that has proper storage. One of the things that can go wrong with wines that are made like this very naturally is if they're heated up, you can damage these wines. They're much more fragile than wines that are made with a little more sulfur, maybe less skin maceration, less exposure to oxygen. So if you're going to search for his wines, make sure you buy them from a reputable person that's warehoused them in a reputable place. But some really stunning wines. Some of the whites he had here, like this Chiara Bianco from Umbria, which is a blend of Granachetto Malvasia, Sauvignon Blanc, Garganega, and Chardonnay. A lot of times when you give me these blends that are kitchen sink blends, they're train wrecks to me. I don't know where they're going. But this wine had some lovely persimmon and apricot fruit to it. It's lovely floral quality. Really an interesting wine. It's left on the skins for 4 weeks. And long finished and very balanced. One of the things that's important in fine wines. And then another interesting white. And then we had some wine. The Monasterio Suore Cistercensi Colombini Bianco. Okay, wow, that's a tongue twister, isn't it? But these wines are picked by nuns, and he actually makes the wines. He showed me a picture of the nuns. Kind of interesting. He's so interested in the nuns. But one wine is made with skin contact, one without. This is a brilliant comparison. The same exact wine and what you can achieve with allowing white wines to sit on the skins. Really interesting, the one with the skin contact that they called Rusticum. And fairly reasonably priced for this gentleman's wines, because his wines are not cheap. But then again, great wine is not cheap. Okay, and then the San Valentino, which is an IGT in 2006. He did not get the DOC approval in 2006 because they said his wine was light and slightly oxidized. Well, the wine appeared maybe it's minutely oxidized, but that's one of the things that producers like Paolo Bay, when they go out on a limb and they do things that are unconventional, that'll happen. Sometimes the DOC will not approve their wine. This happened to Antinori in 1971 with his Tignanello, and look what happened. Well, I don't think Paolo Bay is going to be the phenomenon that Tignanello is. He's a little bit too far out there. But the best wine in the portfolio is the Montefalco Sagrantino. This wine is stunning. I mean, an absolute alluring bouquet of dried red and black fruits, dried flowers, herbs, incredibly complex, and just a party in your mouth. The wine explodes, and a very long finish, very balanced, most excellent. I would highly recommend that. Check out all the offerings from Paolo Bay. That's all I've got for you for the Paolo Bay section of today's show. Again, I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, for the Wine Watch, signing off, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.